Welcome to EHM All Access. My name is Harry Wareing. This podcast is a chance to get more in depth with EHM artists and share all of it in one place. So please subscribe and thank you so much for listening. On this episode, we celebrate the release of Pete Yorn's latest album, All the Beauty. Pete joined us in studio to chat about his career, 25 years of music for the morning after, and the new album, All the Beauty, and even his Syracuse University days. Today, it's the EHM Breakfast Show with Harry in studio for EHM All Access with Pete Yorn. It's the EHM Breakfast Show with Harry, and always a special treat to have in-studio guests, and I think it's been a couple summers, but Pete Yorn is always good to stop by the EHM studios. Welcome back, Pete. How are you?
I'm so good. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming in. This is very cool, and you brought your guitar.
I did bring a guitar.
Now, you're kind of on vacation, though, right? Like when you do come in, because I feel like a lot of people when they come out here, they want to relax. Have you had a chance to relax and kind of get away from it all?
I've had too much time to relax, and I'm ready to get in here and play some music for y'all.
Well, this is very cool. You got an album coming out, All the Beauty, in a few weeks on Friday, July 24th. Looking forward to that. Congrats. And then 25 years since Music for the Morning After. What's it like to look back and kind of think, and I do a lot of these interviews speaking about a 25-year anniversary. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's surreal, but it's great, milestone, and it's cool. I've been on tour all year, kind of doing this Music for the Morning After 25 anniversary tour, and it's great just seeing everyone, seeing how people connected over the years to that record and all those songs, and I play the whole record pretty much every show, and then a bunch of other stuff. But the coolest thing is, I think, is when you put a record out, it's you do it, you make it for yourself. I'm a very selfish artist, but I totally made it for myself. And then I didn't know who would like it. And then you see all these years later, it's like families showing up, like people who had babies when that record came out, they're driving around, falling asleep in the car, or like Just Another Girl or whatever. And now they're front row with these grown, 20-something-year-olds, and they're all together, and it's meaningful to them, and it's meaningful to me, and it's cool to see. So, well,
congratulations, 25 years since the record, and like you said, it has such an impact on people, and over the years, and people are still discovering it too, which is very cool, kind of a new generation. What's it like as far as putting these records together? Now you've got the new one coming out in a few weeks. What's the difference, the main difference between 25 years ago when you first obviously just starting, but now you've got such freedom to do what you want, so to speak?
Yeah, I was very free back then. I pretty much stopped listening to anything and just made a record of music that I love. And I remember thinking very clearly, I don't know who else is going to like this, but I really like this music, and that's that. And I hope it'll last. I hope it'll hold up in 10 years, or at least I'll be proud of it and not cringe, when I hear it. And now I approach the same way. Every record I made, I pretty much approach the same way. And I still make them at home studios, which I love to do. I like working at home. I don't like big studios. This new one coming out, it's called All the Beauty, comes out on the 24th of July, and it's my third one with my boy Jackson Phillips, who people know as Daywave. We made Caretakers together, and then we made Hawaii together, and now this is our third, so it's kind of like the second trilogy in my catalog. The first trilogy was Music for the Morning After, Day I Forgot, and Nightcrawler, and now this caps off the second trilogy.
How did you meet Jackson?
We met at a birthday party for my friend Ian Montone, great guy, out in Malibu, California. And it was very late at night at that point. I remember it was probably 2017, 18 in the autumn. And it's a little blurry. I was still drinking a bunch back then. I think we were having fun. And we started talking, and he said he had a studio. And then maybe 5 months later, I ended up taking him up on his offer to go see him in the studio. And we hit it off right away.
What makes him such a natural fit for your sound and your process? Because it seems like you guys have worked really well together over the past few records.
Yeah, our personalities fit very nicely. He's so talented. I love working with another great musician engineer, and he's just an amazing musician. He comes up with parts, I think, that complement things that I can't do well, and I do things that maybe he doesn't do the way I do them. So we balance each other out that way. I also think he's a generation younger than me, and he grew up, listening to things that I love. And in some ways, I remember he reminded me of things that maybe I would do that maybe I got a little cynical on or jaded on, I want to move past. And he was like, dude, what about that? It's so rad. And he kind of got me excited about some things that maybe are part of my essence that I forgot about, and we brought that back into the music in a way that felt fresh. And I don't know, maybe that's part of it.
No, that's great. The album's out on the 24th, All the Beauty, and love the video for the song. Whose idea was to do it with all the dogs?
It was my friend Ian, who I know through my wife. I met him through my wife, and he heard the song and he responded to it right away, and he sent me just a quick clip of this one dog, following this one little dog all around town with these floppy ears. And I loved the idea of it, but it was making me dizzy. I was like, what if we put like a bunch of dogs or something like that? His name's Ian Kennedy, and he goes by Brain Drain Industries, actually. But he makes videos. But it was his idea, and then I was like, in hindsight, I'm like, it's perfect, because I love my dog so much. I'm always talking about my dog, and I know how my dog, or the dog in general, just represents presence and being in the moment, and not like, thinking about anything other than the moment that they're in. And the song kind of has that sort of sentiment in it. So I think it was a perfect sort of blend there.
Well, why don't we do All the Beauty?
Okay.
I'm curious, what's the kind of the origin story for this song? When did you write it, and what inspired you?
Gosh. I think in general, I don't know when I go into it. I'm kind of always doing like the autopsy after, like, what the heck does this mean? Whatever. And oftentimes I'm like that. But to me, the song, very obviously in the chorus, is just talking about being present, being in the moment, and not just being there, but knowing that how special it is and having the discipline to appreciate it. Like even this, like I'm thinking about something else, or I'm like, just not, like I just got to keep pulling myself back into it. And I find that a lot of people are dealing with that, or they forget to. And so the whole thing is just a reminder, like, I don't want to like just think about the glory days or the good old days. I mean, and like, it's nice to appreciate all that and know where you came from, and if it's a good feeling, great. But a lot of people get stuck in that, and this song is kind of like snap you out of that. It's like, don't get stuck in that place, because right now is everything. So that's it.
The new record out on the 24th. Pete Yorn live here in the EHM studios. So let's do the title song. It's All the Beauty, live here at EHM.
To feel again, I walked along a dark road. I must have been forgiven, chasing us, chasing a ghost, chasing us. Talk about what we used to do, and how things were better in the old days. I just want to live this moment here with you, and I miss all the beauty of this place. Chasing a ghost, chasing us. I don't want to talk about what we used to do, and how things were better in the old days. I just want to live this moment here with you, and I miss all the beauty of this place. Tell me what's in it for us. To look back, I don't know why. and look back. I don't want to talk about what we used to, and how things were better in the old days. I just want to live this moment here with you, and I miss all the beauty of this place, and I miss the beauty of this place.
Very nice. That's Pete Yorn live here in the studio. The title song to the album, All the Beauty, coming out on Friday, July 24th. Thank you for coming in today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Congrats on this new record. And really, how do you feel as far as, we talked a little bit about the 25th anniversary. How have you changed since that record? Because it's interesting. I love the fact that I've heard interviews where you talk about, no, you'd keep everything the same in a way. You wouldn't change much with it. And how do you feel now, and 25 years later, looking back? What's different as a songwriter?
I mean, so much has changed. It's tempting to go back. You like these songs sometimes are like diary entries or time capsules, and they pull you right back to a moment. You play a song from 25 years ago that you wrote even longer ago than that, and it could pull you right back to that place. And there's a trick. You could think nothing's changed, and then you remember, oh wait, man, I got a 10-year-old daughter. I got married. I did all these other things in my life. That I'm not that same person that I was when I wrote the song, and so much has changed, but a lot is the same as well. I like to think I keep it real, but a lot has changed, and it's impossible for all those experiences I've had not to go into the way I write and what I'm interested in. And so there's always those, mysteries of life that still interest me, and I think that go into all the songs, but they're just through a different lens of, being a little bit older, a little bit grayer, a little bit furrier beard now, and it's all good. I celebrate all that stuff, so it's great.
I love the stories that you tell about how you really started in music just playing the drums for your brothers. Do your brothers still play music? Do you guys still get a chance to kind of jam together, or?
They don't. My middle brother is the one who taught me to play drums, and his house got messed up in those fires last year.
Oh, geez, that's right.
Out in the Palisades, and I think there's a lot of that in this record. I think moving on from that, seeing that firsthand, just being stuck in that sort of yuckiness. But I think that he loves music, and I know he wants to get a new drum set, but he's been slow about getting it, so he's got to do it.
That's interesting. I know you started off not really thinking that music would be your career, and we both went to Syracuse, which I always find interesting. I think we lapped by like a year in the mid '90s, and when you went, you were going to be a tax attorney, right?
Yeah, my dad he thought it would be a safe career choice for me to be a tax lawyer, a tax attorney, and I don't blame him, but he underestimated my math abilities. And freshman year, I was an accounting major, and right away it became evident. I was like, I can't do this stuff. There was a course called matrices, and I had to take a summer class for that over at like William Patterson or something in Jersey, and I signed up. And I waited this long line to get the book, and I showed up at the class, and I'm literally in there for 10 minutes, and I hear the professor talking about everything, and the syllabus is handed out, and I excused myself to go to the bathroom, and I just jumped in the car and left, and I never went back. And then later that night or a couple of days later, I told my dad, I go, this isn't going to happen. And I was very scared to do that, but he was supportive. He was like, my dad was like 6'5", like ex-Army guy, and he was just like, okay, I understand.
And you still went back to Syracuse.
I went back to Syracuse, and I switched. I thought maybe I'd become a lawyer. I remember liking To Kill a Mockingbird and Atticus Finch, and I thought maybe I'd be a litigator, a guy in a courtroom, in a suit trying to win, arguments and stuff like that. And so I was a pre-law, political science, and then I switched from that to speech communications maybe like halfway through. And during all that time, I was writing more and more songs.
Well, I was curious, what was the music scene like there at the time?
It was, It was me playing in my room, smoking a lot.
More personal than going out and performing.
Yeah, I think the thing that I finally, like, I would play around, like, in my room, and people would walk by my dorm room and hear me and pop in, and they'd be like, yo, what's that? What's going on? And we'd hang out and whatever. And then I remember a big moment was some girl needed to sponsor someone for a talent show charity event or something like that, and she had known I played a little bit, and she asked me if I would do a song, and I said, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And I remember I just went and played a song that I had written, and I won the whole thing. Everyone, it was like a big moment, and that gave me kind of the confidence to, like, write more songs. But I still didn't even think, I think by the end of junior year, I was like, all right, I'm going to finish school because it's important to my parents and all that, and they're paying a lot of money for me to go here. I don't want to let them down. But at the same time, I was writing so many songs. I was like, I want to try to, do music, and I could always go to law school, I guess, if that's what I really want to do. But I don't want to. I didn't see it the reverse way. I didn't see, like, go to law school, become a lawyer, and then, oh, what if I want to play music? No, that wasn't going to work. So I did it that way.
Well, how long did you wait till head out to L.A. right after college? Or?
I graduated in late April, I believe, of '96. And it snowed up there. My family came up and it was snowing. They're like, "What the heck is this?" And I'm like, "Welcome to Syracuse."
You were the year that it did. Yeah, wow, because everyone talks about the year that it snowed on it was Mother's Day.
Okay.
For graduation, and
so it was May.
Yes,
it was early May,
and it's insane. And everyone references that. I don't know if it's done it since, but but you were the class. That's a great way to get out to Los Angeles and some nicer weather. How long did it take between graduating and kind of getting the record deal, knowing that?
I know that I moved out May 16th of 1996 because it was my friend Billy DiStefano's birthday. It was my next door neighbor in Jersey. I just remember that.
It's funny how you remember those things.
And so I moved out within like 2 weeks after I graduated. Very fast. I don't know when the dates were, but that's my recollection of it. And then I remember, thinking I'd get a record. I was like, I'm great. I'm going to get a record deal right away. I had no idea how the music business works. Of course, I didn't get a record deal right away, and nothing's happening, and I'm trying to figure it out. But in my mind, I'm like, well, if I went to law school, I'd be 3 years in law school. And so I was like, all right, give yourself 3 years to try and make this happen. This is your, like, music grad school. And I was writing better songs, learning how to record in my room at the 4-track, and having experiences just meeting people around LA and all that stuff. And eventually we got there. And it was about 3 years. I think I got signed on my birthday, July of 1999. And it was a big deal to Columbia Records. Yeah, I remember.
That's so cool. Wow, it's amazing how it does take some time. And you what was it like to get out? You put out the record, and what's it like at the time to have all that? Because you worked on those songs for a while, I'd imagine. Those were some of the songs that you probably started writing back in college, and those years after. How long did it take to I guess, do the next record and kind of start thinking about where you wanted to go as an artist and kind of define yourself?
Yeah.
Did you know right away?
I'll tell you, a lot of the songs I had written in college that I was working on, all of a sudden, at some point in like 1998, late 98, I hit a groove where everything changed after I met Walt Vincent, who ended up co-producing Music for More After with me. But like everything except one song was new. It just came out of nowhere. Wow. Like I just hit a whole nother thing. And so those songs are 99% were new for that era for me, and all those old songs kind of some ended up turning out on later records. Like on Day I Forgot, like Long Way Down was one of those older songs. I know Turn of the Century was an older song. That's on, I think it's on Day I Forgot too, Yeah, I toured like 18 months straight on the first record and really went out there and worked hard. Yeah. And, I was young and didn't have anything else to do. I'm like, let's do it. And people wanted to hear it, so it was really fun. And then at some point it was like, well, I got all these other songs. I was excited to make the second record, to make Day I Forgot. And I had a lot of songs that I liked. And I just kept the team together. And we made that. But I think that came out in 2003. And I finished Music for the Morning After. It didn't come out till March 27, 2001, but it was done. Yeah. It was done in like late 99, or no, it was done in early 2000. So it was about a year and change before it came out. So I was itching to record new stuff, Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. And so many different collaborations, of course, with Daywave now, Jackson Phillips. And I love the fact that you did stuff with Scarlett over the years, and those were fun. Do you ever think about revisiting that or working and doing some other things?
Well, we did revisit it, and we made another EP called Apart.
A third one, I was thinking.
And
Yeah.
that was fun. Yeah, she jokes that we're going to do the third one in 20 years or whatever the heck it is.
Do you like doing a lot of collaborations, or?
When I'm in the mood, yeah. It's usually when I'm sick of myself. Then I'm like, oh, let me do a collaboration. And then I kind of react to that and want to go back and be very singular.
I love the covers over the years and different ones, and I like the fact that you really try to change them and make them your own. Is there certain songs that you always kind of look to cover, and what attracts you to a song to do your own version?
It's usually the lyrics. I'm like, man, I wish I could have said that, or it's something that the lyrics just speak to me at that time, so I want to emote that. Sometimes it's just a melody or a song that I loved from being a kid at like 12 years old that I connect to. But, every show's got covers. And a lot of times it's just to show my influences too, like, if I do a Smith song or a Bruce song, or, a Howard Jones song, whatever, it's just like something that affected me over the years that I'm just kind of saying, this is where this came from, and I'll show you how I do it and how I hear it,
The new record's out in a couple weeks on the 24th, All the Beauty. We want to do another song from the record, I think, as far as which would you like to do?
You want me to do a new song? That's
actually, no, it's up to you.
I'm happy to. I could have it here and then have a nice acoustic version of it.
Let's do it.
I don't know how good I'll play it, but let's see. Here, this is a song called Estate.
Oh, wow.
Which means summer in Italian, I believe.
It's Pete Yorn live here in the studio doing something on release. This is cool. This will be on the record on July 24th, All the Beauty.
I think this is like track 9 or 10 on the record. It's deep cut, but it's going to matter. Let's see. Home is where your heart is, playing across the street. Actually, I'm real excited, someday we'll meet. Woke up in a flood this morning from a furious dream. Will you make it better and send it back to me? When the beauty fades, I never notice what we'll lose someday. Where do we go? I've been waiting on hesitation, and I've been waiting for you. I can feel you when you're not near me, and I'm still waiting for you. Home is where your heart is. Actually, I'm real excited about the way we talk tonight. If I can win you over, it would be so lovely to try. I've been waiting on hesitation, and I've been waiting for you. I can feel you when you're not near me, and I'm still waiting for you.
nice. Something brand new on release. That's coming on the record on the 24th. Estate from All the Beauty. Thanks for doing that. It's probably going to be one of my favorites because I remember you you did a song called Roses years back, I think for one of my first visits when I met you, and I've always loved that song since.
Arranging Time.
Yeah.
Right.
So very cool. Thank you for doing that. Excited about the record out in a couple and celebrating 25 years of music for the morning after, but also looking forward to what comes in the future. Are you always writing songs, or are you always kind of thinking about where you want to go next?
No, I'm kind of just feeling it as it comes, and that's the way I do it, yeah.
It's very interesting, because it feels like every couple of years you got a new record, and do you still like touring and doing shows and heading on the road? Yeah,
I do it in a way that I mean, like, I'm not into, like, going out for too long periods of time. I kind of just do it where I like consistency, where I go out pretty much every month and play, like, 3 to 5 shows, and then I'm home, drive my daughter to school, pick her up from school, be home, and that's what I love. And I also love playing a few shows a month. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what does your daughter think of your music and listening to the stuff before she was born?
No clue. I don't think she cares, or she's like.
Is she musical or?
She's playing violin at school, but she says she doesn't like it. But she picked it, and she stuck with it for another year. She'll walk by a piano, play little notes. I hear her sing. She could sing a little bit. She has like a tonality. She could hear a pitch, I think.
Yeah.
But she likes dancing around and playing games and stuff like that. But she's great. She's amazing.
Well, congratulations on the record. All the Beauty coming out in just a few weeks, July 24th, and just congrats on such an amazing career you've built year by year and record by record.
Thank you.
It's very cool to see the growth. So thank you for coming in.
Go Knicks.
Appreciate it. That's right. And we have to mention that too, the Knicks shirt on. Then, do you get to Jersey anytime, or do you get to go home, or is that...
This trip I'm not. I got to fly out of Newark Airport if that counts, but that's about it. Yeah, I'm not getting back to my hometown this time.
You tell a story about working. I think you guys went to a Knicks game or something when, right before you got signed or right around that. So you've been a real Knicks fan through the years.
Yes.
It hasn't been easy. So we've earned it, I think.
Yeah. This season I was like the last few seasons I've been in, but this one I actually sprung for the season, but the league pass. And I watched like every game and. And everyone who followed it, they know, and it was a big deal. And it's easy to forget, but it's like nice to revisit. Like in fact, 2 nights ago, someone sent me the last 5 minutes of the game, like kind of edited to just relive it, and I was like, oh, it was so great. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, it's been a long road for Knicks fans, and you're a real one from the '90s. So that's very cool to see. So thank you for coming in, Pete. Yorn, live here in the studio for EHM. Don't forget the record is out, All the Beauty, on July 24th.